Hi everyone. So, Nordic American Tankers Limited (NAT) reported the first quarter 2020 net operating earnings as a beat for the full year 2019, and it reported pretty promising results. The net profit for first quarter 2020 improved from last quarter, 2019, and came in at $39.5 million against a net profit of $12.7 million for fourth quarter 2019 and a net profit of $5.6 million in first quarter 2019. But in this video, we will be mostly discussing how the NAT, which is the Nordic American Tankers, and is affected by the world economy and the tanker market in general. So yesterday, it also discussed in its earnings report as to how the economy is impacting the tanker market, right? So it said that what is good for the world economy and the world trade is by nature positive for the crude oil tanker business. A low oil price is good for the world economy and work as a stimulus for recovery after that last few months of virus lockdown. So what NAT is seeing is like they see encouraging signals of rapidly recovering Asian economies such as China and India, and it says that it bodes well for the world economy and the tanker markets going forward. So the recovery that they see and the demand for oil that has been created in China and India is positive for the tanker markets going forward. By going forward means the end of 2020 and 2021, right? They said that the ordering activity for new ships is muted and the order book is percent of the existing tanker fleet has not been lower in decades. So this is one of the main reasons for the good tanker market we now are seeing and for our long-term optimism, right? So the world Swissmax fleet counted 521 vessels at the end of 2019, but during the first quarter of 2020, three conventional Swissmax vessels were delivered from the shipyards. For the remainder of 2020, NAT expect to see a total of 16 additions to the world Swissmax fleet, and they are seeing currently 21 conventional Swissmax tankers scheduled for delivery in 2021 and 9 in 2022. So if they're seeing an increase in the Swissmax fleet, that means that they're expecting the demand to increase as well going forward, not only in 2021 but in 2022 as well, which is good for this company. They also say that the supply of tanker tonnage is inelastic in the short term. When there are too many ships in an area, rates tend to go down, but when there is a scarcity of ships, rates tend to go up. So short-term spot tanker rates may be expected to be volatile, right? So now what does this mean for Nordic American tankers when they're in future and what their future strategy is? So what it highlighted in its earnings report was that the NAT strategy is built on expanding and maintaining a homogeneous and top quality fleet, leveraging on an industry network and close customer relationship with major oil companies. So employment of NAT ships with major oil companies is a priority. So they're still working on creating demand, and they're still trying to work with major oil companies so that their ships can be utilized more and more going in future. But at the same time, what is promising is that they're focusing on a strong balance sheet combined with homogeneous fleet and economies of scale, which is giving a low cash break-even level and enabling NAT to distribute free cash flow to the shareholders in terms of dividend, etc. Right? So this strategy, they say, will be positive in a strong tanker market, and in an improved market, higher dividends can be expected. So it is still focusing on its dividend, and as you are aware that it will be paying its 91 consecutive dividend sometime around next week, I think the 5th of June, with ex-dividend date around 21st of May, right? So NAT is firmly committed to protecting its underlying earnings and dividend potential, and they shall safeguard and further strengthen this position in a deliberate, predictable, and transparent way. So it's still focusing on, creating the demand for the tanker market, focusing on a strong balance sheet, and the priority is dividends, making sure that they have enough cash flows to pay back to their shareholders, and at the same time making sure that the demand is there for the tanker market. But what is interesting is that they said that how the opening of economy is good for the company and how the demand that has been created from the Asian economies is positive for the company going future, maybe in 2021, maybe in 2022. So this is what it highlighted as its future strategy and discussed how the world economy is impacting in its earnings beat yesterday. That is it for today. Thanks for subscribing. Keep watching for more interesting content coming up. Thank you.